Isabella Ali, student number 7577539. This is for my HAS 130 Assessment 2 PowerPoint and audio recording. I attend Kashan's tutorials on Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:30, and my topic today will be domestic violence. Population groups and the definition of my topic. So today in this presentation, we will be talking about domestic violence, but specifically domestic violence against women in Australia. So my legal definition that I have is from the New South Wales Government of 2022. What is domestic violence and family? So, quote, domestic and family violence is a crime. It is where there is violent, abusive, bullying behaviour or actions towards a partner or former partner to scare and control them. It can happen at home or outside the home, and it causes fear and harm to the body, mind and spirit. Now, this definition clarifies all bases of domestic violence on how it can affect one's individual health. Now, social determinants that I'm going to talk about today are three. I've got three that I'm going to talk about. So one is quality of life. Number two is violence, all types. And number three is the overall well-being. So I'm talking about quality of life today because as a social determinant of their health, domestic violence can be something that most commonly known as physical violence. Therefore, this can include being seriously injured, causing disability or unnecessary death, as domestic violence is not something that is provoked by the victim. Violence, specifically of all types, because most people, when thinking about domestic violence, they just think of it as a physical type of violence, when in actuality, there are 5 different versions of domestic violence, including physical, emotional, financial, social, and mental. These aspects of this domestic violence can hurt anyone in different ways depending on how they are being abused. I just wanted to clarify that, as most people just think that if you're not being physically abused, you're not being abused at all. But that is incorrect, because there is social segregation from family and friends, financial control of money, emotional degradation, and stuff like that. And lastly, well-being. The well-being of mental and physical of the victim of domestic violence is something very important when talking about this topic, as not only is it physically challenging having the energy to deal with this abuser and this narcissist every single day and healing from the bruises and injuries that they cope with every single day, but also trying to manage their mental well-being when going through such a difficult time in their life when they may not have the right support group to help them. There are multiple barriers when it comes to domestic violence, and most lead to not cooperating with the help that is given to them. I'm going to talk about 3 today again. First of all, willingness. A victim's willingness to cooperate with either formal or informal ways of support is the number one thing, because if they cannot and will not cooperate and be willing to leave their situation, there is nothing that you can do for them, because there is nothing that will help them. They need to be able to make the decision on their own to leave their situation. Another barrier would be fear, especially when you're in a physical or financial domestic abuse situation. Fear can be a repercussion, because a repercussion from standing up for yourself and taking a stand to the abuse can lead to more severe abuse from the offender, and therefore not wanting to stand up is why fear comes into play here. Attachment issues with the abuser can be another heavy weight on the victim, as in social segregating from friends and family as a form of domestic violence can mean that the victim has no support group if they ever left their offender. Their offender is all they know and all they have known for the time being, and therefore they will not want the help that is being given to them. And these are just a couple examples of barriers that can be shown within domestic violence and trying to help victims. My intervention strategy or place is 1800 Respect. I found this as an online and physical support service that can help those who have or who have or who are experiencing domestic violence. They provide sources of information to determine if you are being abused, support services such as 24/7 phone counselling or online texting services. And these services are here to help those who have been a victim to abuse over time, or just to have someone to speak to about the issues going through their family relationships, romantic or friendships. As for 1800 Respect, they help those who have been suffered from sexual, domestic and family violence. This 1800 Respect website that I found helps to bring all the information and all the support services together for women of Australia to find someone and something that they can feel passionate about and that they can feel open to talking to. Because after the abuse that they would have had for many months, weeks, years, no matter the time period, all they want is that support of women who know what they're going through, and 1800 Respect gives them that. I hope that you learned something today about domestic violence and that you have a clearer view on what the actual definition of it is. Thank you for listening.